In the annals of modern history, few figures have cast as long and dark a shadow as Osama bin Laden. Born into privilege and wealth, his journey would take him from the son of a prominent Saudi Arabian family to becoming the face of global terrorism. This video explores the life, ideology, and actions of a man whose name became synonymous with violence and radicalism, a man whose leadership of al-Qaeda culminated in the devastating 9/11 attacks and set off a global war on terror. Join us on a journey to understand the complex and enduring legacy of Osama bin Laden. Early life and family background. Osama bin Laden was born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on March 10, 1957, into the influential bin Laden family. His father, Mohammed bin Laden, was a wealthy construction magnate with close ties to the Saudi royal family. Osama's upbringing was deeply rooted in Islamic tradition, as he came from a devout Sunni Muslim family. He was one of over 50 siblings from his father's multiple marriages. Growing up in an affluent environment, Osama received an education that emphasized both religious studies and a Western-style education. Radicalization and early involvement in jihad. Bin Laden's radicalization began in the late 1970s when he witnessed the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. This event deeply disturbed him, and he became determined to aid the Afghan resistance. In 1984, he joined the Afghan Mujahideen and, alongside his mentor Abdullah Azzam, established the Maktab al-Khidmat (MAK), which helped funnel foreign fighters and funds to support the Afghan resistance. This marked the beginning of his involvement in jihad. Founding of al-Qaeda. The experiences in Afghanistan solidified bin Laden's commitment to global jihad. After the Soviet withdrawal, he founded al-Qaeda in 1988, which translates to the base in Arabic. Al-Qaeda's core ideology centered on the belief in the duty of Muslims to wage holy war against perceived enemies of Islam, particularly the United States. The group developed a structured hierarchy and a broad network aimed at carrying out acts of terrorism worldwide. The 1990s rise to prominence. In the early 1990s, bin Laden returned to Saudi Arabia, but his radical views and opposition to the Saudi government led to his expulsion from the country. He subsequently lived in Sudan for several years before relocating to Afghanistan in 1996 with the support of the Taliban regime. There, he continued to build al-Qaeda's operational capabilities, attracting a growing number of followers and sympathizers. Global terrorism and the embassy bombings. Bin Laden's commitment to global jihad became unmistakable with al-Qaeda's involvement in the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings in Nairobi, Kenya, and Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. These simultaneous attacks resulted in hundreds of casualties and marked a significant escalation in al-Qaeda's campaign against the United States. The U.S. government placed bin Laden on its list of most wanted terrorists. The 9/11 attacks. Bin Laden's long-held ambitions culminated in the meticulously planned September 11, 2001, terrorist attacks. 19 al-Qaeda operatives hijacked 4 commercial airliners, crashing 2 into the World Trade Center towers in New York City, 1 into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and the 4th into a field in Pennsylvania after passengers attempted to regain control. These devastating attacks killed nearly 3,000 people and left an indelible mark on U.S. history, leading to a global war on terror. Escape to Tora Bora and the war in Afghanistan. In the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, bin Laden retreated to the rugged Tora Bora Mountains in Afghanistan. This remote region became the center of a high-stakes battle as U.S. and Allied forces sought to capture him. The U.S.-led invasion of Afghanistan in October 2001 aimed to dismantle al-Qaeda's operational infrastructure and bring bin Laden to justice. Global manhunt and isolation. Hunted by U.S. and Allied forces, bin Laden found himself increasingly isolated, moving from one safe house to another. To maintain his influence, he relied on sporadic audio and video messages released to the public and the media. The world watched as intelligence agencies intensified their pursuit, determined to locate and apprehend the world's most wanted terrorist. Death of Osama bin Laden. The climactic moment in the manhunt occurred on May 2, 2011, when U.S. Navy SEALs located and raided bin Laden's heavily fortified compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. During the operation, bin Laden was killed, and his body was subsequently buried at sea. His death marked a significant victory in the global war on terror and a major milestone in the pursuit of justice for the 9/11 attacks. Despite his death, al-Qaeda and its offshoots continue to